From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 5th, 2019. Over 10,000 Palestinians took part in riots today along the Gaza border fence, many of whom threw rocks and explosive devices at IDF soldiers, who responded with riot dispersal means. Several Palestinians were said to have been injured. Last weekend, if you recall, 40,000 Gazans gathered at the fence, marking the one-year anniversary of the start of the so-called March of Return protests. Armed factions in Gaza, as well as the march's organizers, had reportedly called for nonviolent protest today in light of the fact that negotiations led by Egypt are still underway for a ceasefire between Israel and terror group Hamas, who controls Gaza. Earlier today, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh said the talks were advancing in a positive direction. A Lebanese newspaper claims to have information about the yet-to-be-unveiled U.S. peace plan for Israel and the Palestinians. Israeli media shared the report from Lebanese daily Al-Akhbar, who said the plan would include a push for Jordan and Egypt to grant citizenship to Palestinian refugees. There has been no comment from Israel or confirmation of any kind of this report. Police in Oklahoma arrested a woman today for allegedly painting anti-Semitic, white supremacist, and racist graffiti, including swastikas and the phrase "gas the Jews," in a number of locations. 45-year-old Allison Johnson was caught on surveillance camera defacing the Oklahoma Democratic Party headquarters in Oklahoma City, and also is suspected of defacing several other locations in nearby Norman, Oklahoma. The local Anti-Defamation League office said they were outraged by the show of hate and thanked community members who were committed to help. In Turkey, police arrested a man who threw a firebomb at the Beth Israel synagogue in Izmir last week. The explosive fell to the sidewalk and did not damage the synagogue. The suspect reportedly told police that he was protesting Israel. The lawmaker for the ruling Justice and Development Party, Mustafa Yeneroglu, condemned the attack on social media, writing, "There is no difference between attacks targeting synagogues, churches, and mosques. They all target social peace with their hate." And a Jewish cemetery in Romania was vandalized this week. 73 headstones were smashed at the cemetery in the town of Husi. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin shared his outrage on social media, writing, "Jew hatred is still with us." Rivlin wrote, "Through education and remembrance, we can counter the wave of anti-Semitism that we see around the world, and particularly in Europe." Longtime cantor of New York City's Lincoln Square Synagogue, Sherwood Goffin, has died. Goffin served at the Upper West Side Synagogue for 50 years. He also taught Jewish liturgy and folk music at Yeshiva University's Bell School of Jewish Music and was the honorary president of the Cantorial Council of America. Goffin also performed around the world, including at Carnegie Hall. He died on Wednesday at the age of 77. A rare find was uncovered this week during an archaeological dig near Beersheba in Israel's Negev desert. A 2,000-year-old image of the 9-stem menorah found during an excavation of a very well-preserved and extensive Second Temple period Jewish settlement, which includes a watchtower and underground passages. Israel Antiquities Authority archaeologist Dr. Daniel Varga said of the seal impression, "This is probably one of the earliest artistic depictions of a 9-branched menorah yet discovered." The site is dated to the 1st century CE. It will be open to the Israeli public on Monday. Well, with Passover on the horizon, dozens of Holocaust survivors and their spouses and caretakers came together this week for a special Seder for survivors, many of whom have nowhere to go on the actual Seder later this month. This is the 9th annual Seder for Holocaust survivors, organized by Ellen Grossman of Great Neck, Long Island, held at the JCC in Oceanside, organized with the help of the UJA Federation of New York. Also this week, the Israel branch of the World Jewish Congress hosted a model Seder for foreign ambassadors and journalists stationed in Israel. This was the 4th annual Seder of its kind, this year with a special theme focusing on the power of women. Chairman of the World Jewish Congress, Israel Gad Arieli, said we see deep importance in introducing foreign diplomats to the traditions of this land, and we aim to continue strengthening and deepening these ties between Israel and the international community. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, April the 5th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a concert from the Yamin Ord Youth Choir. At 8, former UK Chief Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks and historian Simon Schama speak at the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the film Deadly Honor, which examines the phenomenon of honor killings. At 10, it's Kosher Movies, and at 10:30, Musica with founder of the band Sheva, Moshe Ben-Ari. And coming up right after this newscast, it's a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 5th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.